Good afternoon. Thank you so much for your time. My name is Lillian Muli with the latest at this hour. Northeastern members of parliament are now sounding an alarm over impending severe drought in the region. The lawmakers speaking in parliament want the government to declare a national disaster to enable access to immediate assistance and resources to support affected communities. The leaders are asking the government to effect the livestock offtake program as the drought continues to take root.
To intervene. What are we asking the government to do? We're asking the government, first of all, to declare drought a national disaster. Because this is the only way now donors can come in. This is the only way, again, other humanitarian agencies actually can come in. And this will enable the government actually to even appeal for help to the international community.
We are at a point whereby livestock are dying. And today, tomorrow, the day after, we'll be having cases of people dying. If animals are dying and those are the livelihoods of the people, then it means the people who are with these animals will equally die.
And I understand there is a case of death already in my constituency in Mandera East. I have that report today. And if the situation continues this way, God forbid, we might have people dying. People lost animals already. There are a lot of IDPs.
Mandera has already reported the first deaths. We are going to see a multiplication of that in many parts of the region if we do not act now and act fast.
The biggest problem is water. So if we have water, and the president gave a State of the Nation address the other day, and we talked about mega dams which are going to promote irrigation in that region, I think going forward, that's the direction we need to take as a country.
The Elections Observation Group's final report on the recent by-elections has highlighted ballot secrecy breaches, with observers reporting voters openly photographing their marked ballot papers, which is against electoral procedures. The report also flags unusually high levels of assisted voting, some stations recording nearly 90% of voters relying on presiding officers. ELOG further noted the presence of unauthorized individuals, including roaming political super agents and even DCI officers entering polling stations without accreditation, raising concerns of credibility of the votes.
There was a concerning presence and active involvement of high-ranking government officials, which include members of the executive, both at the national and the county level, state security officials, and other public officers. Such participation and engagement from officials who by law are required to remain neutral has the effect of tilting the playing field in favor of governing political parties and influencing voter behavior as a result.
The Commission must provide regular updates throughout the process. The silence of the Commission during the campaign period as well as on E-Day and the after result declaration was alarming. While noting that they did take some action on offending candidates in Kasipul and further issued a statement condemning the violence on E-Day, it is our considered view that they punched way below their weight.
A human rights group, Vocal Africa, has hinted at taking legal action against the Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission, IEBC, and the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC, for failing to take stern action against those who violated electoral laws during the just concluded by-elections. Vocal Africa says that after the lapse of 14 days, it will proceed to court to sue the two institutions and has demanded the resignation of the state officers who took part in campaigning for government-allied candidates. Vocal Africa insists that the polls were unfair due to the widespread cases of violence, intimidation, and voter bribery, and the inaction from IEBC and EACC.
Zile sheria za uchaguzi zilikuwa zinakiukwa peupe na wanasiasa na wengineo ambao walikuwa wanajihusisha katika masala kama haya. Sisi leo hii tutafikisha ripoti hii kwa tume ya uchaguzi pamoja na tume ya kupigana na ufisadi na wengineo. na tutawapea makataa ya siku 14 ili kuchukua hatua za kisheria kulingana na yale mapendekezo tuliopeana.
IEBC's weakness was failure to disqualify violators or enforce basic rules, embolden offenders. Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission ineffectiveness. We had zero visible action against public officers engaged in political campaigning.
Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has dismissed claims of a rift between him and Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka, saying the government is desperately driving a wedge between them to divide the opposition. Speaking during an event to receive MCAs elected on the DCP party in the just concluded by-election, Gachagua touted the wins as an illustration that his party was a national outfit. Gachagua also called out what he termed as the use of goons and violence by the government to rig the election.
Our candidates. On Sunday, I said that DCP is in talks with Wiper and other parties in the United Oppositions, and we have looked at the formula in Nairobi, regional composition, party loyalties, and past performances, and we have come to the conclusion that the United Opposition can take 16 out of 17 seats. We have looked at the history of the voting patterns in Nairobi, and we are convinced that the United Opposition, where DCP and Wiper are strong partners. You know, people think that they can create a wedge between us. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka led the DCP campaign in Magarini. That is how close we are. Tupigie Kalonzo makofi.
A Nairobi magistrate has publicly challenged the Law Society of Kenya leadership over what she termed as the organization's selective defense of advocates while allegedly neglecting judges and magistrates who are also members of the society. Magistrate Dolphina Alego put Nairobi LSK chairperson Eric Kuvuva and LSK Vice President Mwaura Kabata to task after they appeared in her court to defend an advocate under investigation for alleged land fraud. She questioned why the society aggressively intervenes to protect lawyers, but rarely comes to the aid of judicial officers when they are attacked or intimidated. Alego observed that some advocates openly intimidate magistrates who, in most cases, are unable to defend themselves. Yet, the LSK remains silent. She further noted that judges and magistrates are frequently subjected to attacks on social media without any action being taken, despite the LSK's mandate to safeguard the interests of all its members.
I will speak on behalf of my colleagues who have been bullied, whether senior, whether juniors, and I think it continues being done, and I don't want to read this after this, because there are some who are strong enough to take it, there are some who are not strong enough to take it. And you see, we cannot respond in the same platforms unless you are telling us, as judicial officers and judges, that we withdraw from social media. Okay? So the same preference that you are giving to fellow lawyers and advocates, can that be extended to us on the bench, especially the ladies who some cannot take, and I believe even some of the men.
A night guard was killed and goods worth 2.5 million shillings stolen during a robbery at a liquor store in Kahawa West, Nairobi, early Wednesday morning. According to police, the assailants struck around 4 a.m., disabling the store's CCTV system before executing the heist. The victim, believed to have been guarding the premises, was fatally attacked during the raid. Nicholas Mongera, a local resident, says he was alerted by neighbors around 7 a.m. and immediately reported the incident to Kahawa West Police Station. Residents have blamed the rising insecurity on a prolonged power outage in the area, claiming that Kenya Power removed a transformer for repairs 3 weeks ago and is yet to replace it. They say the blackout has left the neighborhood vulnerable to criminal activity and are calling on the government to act swiftly. Police have launched investigations into the incident and assured the public that efforts are underway to apprehend the suspects.
They have really shocked us by killing our security. That was the most Sunday news nimesikia. Afadhali wangebeba kila kitu, but kuua huyo alikuwa Masai. It was age of 40 hapo.
Hii si kitu ya kwanza kufanywa hii. Ilianza kutoka kitambo sana. Zaidi ya kitambo zaidi kutoka Sambaya huko chini wamama kuliwa Kamae na pia Reri. Hakuna security ya kutosha. Usiku saa 1, 6, 5, saa 10 mtu anatoka kazi yake, anaongea na mtu kwa simu kwa barabara, shanyang'anywa simu. Ukiangalia hata hizi bodaboda zinaundwa, inakuwa ni kama ya kwenda mbio ambao ndio wanazitumia ili wakuiba wizi.
One of the victim wenye waivamiwa na wengi wanakuanga na mapikipiki. Nikaenda nikaongea na OCS na OCPD wa Kahawa West, na wakatuambia wata improve. Tukaenda tukaandikisha statement, and since that time up to date we have never seen any change.
As the country celebrates International Day for Persons Living with Disability, it has emerged that there is a rise in autism cases countrywide. Kenya Institute of Special Education's Director, Dr. Norman Kiogora, says KISE has embarked on research to establish the reasons behind the spike in autism. During the celebrations to mark the day, 100 people were assessed in the institute. Play materials were donated to the institute as well.
Representing parents, Daisy Nyawera Jagi.
We are doing our research to find out what is causing this rising, and it's in big numbers. On these countries worldwide. Yes, we had a team here from outside the country, and they are telling us they are also equally concerned about the rising case of autism, and therefore we are doing a research to find out what is causing this particular disability.
All those people who are in the field of special needs, we need to create awareness. There are so many parents out there where there is no technology actually, who are not even aware of the access to whatever we are doing here.
So we know there's a huge burden in the country. However, we still don't have enough manpower, let me call it, or workforce to support persons living with disabilities. Some of these children require routine therapy multiple times in the course of a week, of a month, of a year. It's expensive to caregivers.